Hello class and welcome to Module 6. Module 6 we're going to be talking about stress and alienation and subcultures, and we're going to be covering in our textbooks chapters 10 and 14. To start here, you've clicked on the video to get you started, and that's wonderful. The video will be covering Module 6, what I'm looking for you to do, as well as the lecture from chapters 10 and 14. Do click here on the notes. There's another copy for the lectures, and I thank you for putting your name here. It does help me quite a bit as I'm grading your assignments. Okay, well, let's jump in with section number 2. After you've read section number 1, section 1, chapters 10 and 14, read it, watched this video presentation, and you can also click through the notes at your leisure. Move into section 2. Take a look at the reflection, because we're talking about stress, alienation, the subcultures that adolescents face, and what do you see as considered popular? What is some popular personifications as it's shown in TV, movies, YouTube videos, things like that? Give an example or a book example from a popular, what is considered to be a popular character. Do talk a little bit about their achievement, if they're conformists or nonconformists, their physical attractions. Talk with me about that a little bit. Reflect on that. What stresses do you see most often in adolescence? Include maybe your own experience, and what can teachers do about that? Have you seen adolescent students alienate each other? Have you seen bullying activity? Is this a serious problem for adolescents? It's certainly in the news. It's certainly things that teachers are made aware of. Is this a problem? Do you see that in this area? And finally, what were the main subculture groups in your school, in your environment, and you were growing up in middle school and high school? Were you a part of one of those? And how did you feel as being a part of one of those? Or were you rejected by the groups that you tried to make yourself a part of? How did you feel about that? So reflect on this a little bit. Like I've said before, I read every word that you write down, and I thank you for your reflections, because I know that you put time and thought into these, so thank you very much. I look forward to reading your reflections on this. Do put 6 or 8 sentences here, and of course, if these brown boxes, beige boxes, aren't big enough, just make them bigger. That's fine. When you're done with this, of course, do post it in Blackboard in module number 6. Okay, well, let's take a look at section 3. What I would like you to do is I would like you to go to the research projects that you have posted. So if you go to Blackboard, there we go, Blackboard, and you go to discussions, and you go to where you have posted your research projects. Your research project here, let's see, topic, blend space, summary, research project due. So when you're ready to turn in that research project, you put it right here. But then blend space, you would think I could say that word, research project responses here in module 6. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to select 2 blend space research projects, go through, click through those things, watch the videos, take the quiz, and then I would like you to give some response to those. Praise, what did you love about this topic or project, and other questions. What questions do you still have about this topic? So please put those down, and I will come back and evaluate your response to 2 of the blend space research projects. Remember that your blend space research project is due here on July 23rd, and this blend space research project response, that is part of module 6. So I'm looking forward to that as well, looking at your blend space research project. That's section 3. Let's go to section 4. Start your learning theories project. I've posted a list of topics for you to consider. You can work alone or work with one other person. Either one is fine. Same thing with your blend space project. Work with alone or with another person. What I would like you to do in your research topic is go through and go to Blackboard, assignment details, And here is your Learning Theories project Learning Theories presentation, and it is due August 2. And if you click on that, the Learning Theories, here is the Learning Theory presentation as well as the rubrics of the presentation. You can see this here, or you can see this in your syllabus because it is the same. And let's let this pull up. We're working on section 5. Yes, we're engaging the class in discourse regarding a learning theory. Sure, you can use PowerPoint, but if you would like, let me encourage you to try something different like Powtoon, Screencast-O-Matic, Office Mix, VoiceThread. There's all kinds of great things that you can do with these programs. Prezi also. So yeah, you can use Blackboard, but try something different because it makes your presentation stand out. It makes you look better. Yeah, when you're talking with parents, when you're talking with students, that you have mastery over these different types of platforms, it makes you look more professional than just well, here's another PowerPoint that we are going to snooze through. So think about doing something different. It's not required for this assignment, but I'm encouraging you to do that. Here are the guidelines for this, and I'll let you read through those, as well as the rubric, and you can click on those. Now, what I've also have for you is a list of topics. Let me get to the right spot. Come on. There we go, a list of topics. So these are ideas. You're welcome to use these. Piaget learning theory, simulated cognition, Bruner, schema, information processing, Albert Bandura, social self-efficacy, information processing, behaviorism. These are some ideas, and within each one of these, you will see that there is some supporting documents that go along with that. Basically, it's the chapter that I've copied for you that goes along with this material. Oh, yeah, I got to turn that sideways, didn't it? Boy. Okay, you're welcome to read through those, and you're welcome to use some internet resources as well. Our USC Upstate Library has all kinds of great resources there, and I'll get you some web links for that. And you can look and see what other things that would apply to your topic. Now, if you want some other topics, send me an email on that. I'm open to look at other learning theory topics that you may choose. Otherwise, stick with one of these, and it's all going to work for me. It all works for me. I love learning about new theories and new topics. So if you've got a new one, don't hesitate to ask, and let's make that happen. Okay, I think that's the show. Yeah, that's it for module. Oh, wait, let me finish this section 4 first. What I would like you to do is I would like you to put your name and the name of the person that you're working with, if you are working with somebody, along with a brief description of your learning topic. So look at those and see what topic, a brief description of how you're going to cover this material, and put that here right in your beige box. So I'll know what you're going to do, and if you choose to do it with a partner, choose to do this project with a partner. All right, that's it. That's Module 6, and that takes care of us. Let's take a look at the notes from Section 6. So all we need to do is click on these, and hopefully it'll get us to the right ones. I've had some technical difficulties today. I've been on the phone with IT for an hour and a half. It's about these videos, so hopefully we can have something that works for us. Okay, well, let's take a look at subcultures as a function of adolescence. There is some debate as to say, is there any such thing as an adolescent subculture? Well, with so much of the media focused on this age group of saying, who's going to buy what and where, with so many of the students USC Upstate, the college students have 97%. In 2008, it was 75% of students at Upstate and students that are in middle level have cell phones, have these devices, and they're constantly communicating with each other via Snapchat, Instagram. I don't even know what all else. My kids have them too, and it's a constant fight. Would you set that down so you can talk to mommy and daddy and tell us how your day went? So is there reason for a adolescent subculture? There's certainly pressures on adolescents to be a part of this subculture. There's formal and informal. Of course, the formal subcultures are linked to schools and sportings events. The casual or the informal are going to be just kind of get-togethers. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, me too. Let's go meet. Do something. Okay, formal academic subsystems. Okay, we have our classes. We don't have everybody moving at their own pace. You move with a year. You move with your freshman to sophomore to junior to senior. You're kind of in that situation, and very few actually move ahead. Graduate in 3 years. If so, boy, they're looked a little bit odd. Why would you do that? Why would you break out of your subculture? You have the students that are performing well, they're on honor rolls. You have the students that are just barely getting by, kind of a social passing. You have a correlation between academic success and popularity. If you are smart academically or achieving well academically, you're viewed as more popular. Older students can be viewed as smart and popular if they don't follow the rules. Have we seen that before? Or if they can defend themselves well. Okay, some of the extracurriculars, they're positives of having these extracurricular programs like a sports program or an after-school program. Any type of program that's going to involve the students, you're less likely to drop out statistically. You tend to do better in schools. You're more likely to go on to graduation and even to college. Higher self-esteem, less drug use, at-risk behaviors like sexual activities. And girls are more likely to participate than boys. Good for girls. Smart for you. Cautions. Academic achievement does not always correlate with sports teams. Just because that you're in a sports team does not mean that you're going to automatically get better grades. You may be in a sports team that, the party scene is more what they're into. Athletes in some studies are more likely to drink and use drugs, involved in sexual activities, multiple partners. And this varies a lot, of course, by sports. So just because you're in a sporting activity doesn't mean that all those risk factors have been eliminated. We need to be careful with those. Okay, informal systems like a clique, a liaison, a crowd. Cliques, 3 to 10 friends, you've seen those. They're important for adolescents, and less than 50% of the adolescents are involved in these, according to this research in the textbook. Crowds of 20 or more members, liaisons, they can connect with different groups, different cliques. There's a hierarchy that's in schools, and I love to talk about this when we meet together as a class, but we'll just have to kind of think about it on our own. Do you agree that the jocks and the preps were at the top? Were they at the top? Maybe it was the smart kids, honor roll kids. I don't know. Techno nerds, they often come in pretty high. The goths, they've carved a niche out just for themselves. Skaters, the dirts, the drug users, and the loners. What other subgroups might you include here? There's room for a good discussion. Which ones did you feel that you may have been a part of? Okay, bullying. Bullying is a real big issue because we as teachers can be held responsible if we see bullying behavior and don't address that. So we've got to be aware of these behaviors. We've got to watch these behaviors. And an important thing to watch for is to defend each group, whether that's gender roles, women, boys, girls. whatever the ethnicities, sexual orientation, all of our students deserve to be safe in school. And so I think as teachers, we have to be careful of being aware of these behaviors and being aware of who might be a victim. Are they quiet? Are they insecure? Do they have few friends or physically weak? Maybe they're not the most attractive. Maybe they come from a different background. So we need to be careful of these situations that students may find themselves in and be prepared to step in if there's bullying behavior going on. Bullying behavior may also exhibit itself. The victims may be avoiding school. Suicide. We've seen this on the news many times. If you've been bullying, and it doesn't just have to be bullying at school, it can be cyberbullying as well, which is very painful for kids. I know my son doesn't care a lot about cyberbullying. He's just like, oh, somebody said something bad, and he's very dismissive of it. But my daughter is very sensitive to that. So I think it's a lot up to the person, too, how much they would take that seriously. Okay, friendships. Friendships are very important because there's a positive psychological and social adjustment, better self-esteem, fewer behavior problems. They have the ability to form additional close friendships later in life. So friendships in adolescence are very important, and it fights this loneliness, this sense of despair. Boys tend to have this more than girls, so we want to be aware that boys may not have those social skills. Maybe we want to encourage those social skills as much as we can. Okay, let's take a look at, all right, there's psychosocial development, romance. 25% of early adolescents have at least one romantic relationship. Now, this can be a good or bad thing because adolescents, the relationships don't always last that long. And so you can be on a real roller coaster from, dreamy, wonderful, in love, happy, all is right with the world, could never been more happy in my life, to, oh, I've been rejected, I feel I need to crawl under a rock or something. So romance kind of, I think of it as a two-edged sword. And we want to be there to help where we can, ask the students, are you okay? How do you feel? I'm so sorry. You are still a valuable person. Just because boyfriend or girlfriend broke up with you doesn't mean that you're not still valuable. That doesn't mean you're still not a person that I feel has worth in my classroom. Okay, many students are texting a lot. I know that I was shocked when I saw that my daughter was texting 1,700 texts per day, per month. And I'm thinking, how in the world, that's like 50, 75. And, I started looking at those texts, and the texts are like, hey, what's up? Later. So a lot of the texts are really short. So it really does differentiate the way that I grew up. We talked to each other face to face. We didn't have 45 friends that we said, hey, what's up? And, just these short little conversations. So it's really, really strange to see. So I'll let you decide as teachers, is this something good or is this something bad? Is this something we need to be aware of? I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I think there's pluses and minuses. Okay, well, take a look at page 264. There are the teenagers as sources of income. And it's interesting the way the males and the females break down there, from irregular money from parents. Look, girls get more money from mom and dad than the boys do. Boys get more odd jobs, part-time jobs. Girls are getting more gifts. Regular allowance, good for mom and dad. It's about the same. Other females just tend to make more money in adolescence. So I thought that was, according to this study, Newspaper Association of America 2005. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. And that would be a good topic for us to discuss in class. All right, take a look at some of the things that are concerning for adolescents, the material, non-material things. Of course, cars, clothes, and your cell phone are very important material things. Non-material things, of course, your music videos, your culture, your talk, maybe the people that you're hanging out with. Okay, stress and alienation, feeling of alienation from school or society. Adolescents who are angry and unhappy turn outward and act out. Their truant, their aggression, their promiscuous, theft, assault, all these things can be a result of them feeling stressed and alienated out. Running away happens 1 to 2 million times kids per year. That's a lot. 1 in 7 adolescents will run away at least once before his or her 18th birthday. That is a lot. Isn't it interesting that Caucasian teenagers are more likely to flee home than Latino or African American peers? I found that just absolutely fascinating. And adolescents raised in single parent or blended family homes are many times more likely to run away. That's sad, isn't it? They're in a place where they don't feel comfortable, and so they don't see many options, and so they just leave and run away. Very unsafe. Those reasons we've already talked about, and some of our students even feel like throwaways, deserted by parents, forced to leave, not permitted to return. There's all kinds of reasons that are here for students feeling like they're throwaways. This leads to depression and suicide. This is common during adolescence. They commonly feel down, down on themselves. Oh, I can't do anything. I'm terrible. Well, we need to be aware of those symptoms and do what we can as teachers to help those students out. Reminding them, of course, that maybe tomorrow it's going to be a better day, or connecting them with the school nurse, the school counselor, the school resources to help them see that they are important and we can work with them and help them through their problems. Suicide is a terrible thing. Boys are often more successful at suicide than girls because they choose more violent ways. 85% of successful suicides are completed by boys. Very, very sad. Okay, take a look. Yeah, eating disorders. One of the saddest things that I saw, I was working in the adolescent psychiatric unit of a North Carolina hospital near where I was teaching, and I saw the psychological disorders of eating, of bulimia and anorexia, and it was very sad because they still saw themselves, these adolescents still saw themselves as being, fat, overweight, even though they were really just, so thin, just really skin over bones. So it's a real psychological issue, and these are wonderful kids, but for whatever reasons, and there was some trauma in these children's lives that led to this, but it was so sad to see, and it was actually shocking to see that they were still thought that they were fat. I'm like, it's just your bones. It's just your bones, child. You're not fat at all. You have every right to be here. We love you and we support you, and we think you're fine. Come, let's have some food. And it was a real struggle for them to eat. So these things are very important that we be aware of, these warning signs. Bodies, they're binging, they're purging, they're fasting, using laxatives, and 90% of these are females. So sad. It's often that society, it puts these unrealistic physical expectations on women, and it's just not fair, and it makes me angry because I think of my own daughter being in that situation. Daddy, does this make me look fat? Oh, child, you're 16, you're not fat, you're beautiful just the way you are. So we need to support our students in these situations. This, of course, brings us to the last area, juvenile delinquency. There are lots of adolescents that are lawbreakers, unfortunately, and they're acting out, and they're also acting out in ways that cause them to get arrested. Crime rates rise from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. Isn't that crazy? There's less crime while they're in school. They can't commit those crimes because they're in school. Teachers are holding the walls back of crime. That's why there's strikes with teachers. In those northern states, they have the unions. The crime rates go through the roof because these kids have no place to go, so they're going to commit crimes. So here, as the teachers watch the kids, bam, we have fewer crime rates. Hooray! Teachers holding back the crime from 7 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon until they let them out. We keep them safe and hopefully educated and hopefully supported. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope things are going well for you. Do give me a call, 864-503-5570, or an email, gbradley@USC Upstate. Love to hear from you, and I hope things go well for you. Talk with you soon. Goodbye.